Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Pauper, and today I've got a spicy take on Dimir control from Patreon subscriber Ian. And the spicy take is Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual, of course, among the oldest Magic cards that there are, was printed in Alpha, has been exchanging short-term advantage for long-term card advantage since 1993. And the puzzle that Dark Ritual provides for the caster of it is, how do we leverage the fact that we're turning a whole card in our hand into mana just for this turn? You need to be casting something that will either take over the game on its own or ending the game outright. That's why you see Dark Ritual in decks like Storm, where the game is over once you start Dark Ritualing, or Doomsday, where the game is over once you start Dark Ritualing, or like Black Stompy, where turn 1 opposition agent, that sort of thing, turn 1 Karn the Great Creator. You don't see Dark Ritual in decks like Legacy Scam, like Blue-Black Scam, because it's not worth the card. And that makes Dark Ritual very difficult to include in a control deck, because control decks want to play a long game where every card matters over time. So what are we doing with Dark Ritual in a control deck here? And the answer is hopefully powering out some stuff that will win the game on its own. Getting not the initiative, there are no initiative cards in these colors, legal in the format. Getting the Monarch on turn 2 with Thorn of the Black Rose or Ezerfleet Admiral, an island, a swamp, and a Dark Ritual does the trick here. And the Monarch quickly replaces the cards lost to the Dark Ritual. The other thing we're doing is Murmuring Mystic. There are 4 of these in the deck. They're just split up because I'm on tilt and apparently have a split set of these, even though they're basically free. This is another card that has emerged in the last few years as a Pauper banger. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, make a 1/1 blue bird illusion. This thing has a huge ass, it's a 1/5, and it pumps out a bunch of blockers, and as soon as they don't have to block anymore, they start winning the game in short order. That gives us 10 ways to convert a Dark Ritual into something big that will impact the game every turn it's in play. And then from there, we just back that up with the free interaction that Pauper allows us to play. Force Snuff out 2 foil. You could discard an island and another card rather than play this mana cost and counter target spell. That's why Deep Analysis is in the deck, a card we don't mind discarding, and we've got lots of islands. There's only 1 pure swamp in the deck and 15 islands. All of that is to support foil. And the goal is to just stick one of these Dumbos and then protect it long enough that it takes over. And the cool flip side of this deck is you're just a Dimir control deck if you don't have Dark Ritual. There are some Dark Ritual decks that if they don't have a Dark Ritual, their cards are just bad and below rate. This is not actually true of this deck. We could just set up a turn 6 Thorn of the Black Rose after casting a bunch of removal and backing up with a counterspell. We've got us a deck that does both here, and hopefully it plays out that way. This is Ian's Turbo Dimir. Let's try it. I'm on the play in round 1 and immediately have a turn 2 Murmuring Mystic. Let's run it. This is what the deck's about. I don't have a foil or snuff out to back it up, but let's hope this thing can carry for a turn. Great Furnace, playing against one of the many artifact decks. Okay, might just actually be a red aggro deck. This is a good deck to put Murmuring Mystic in front of if it survives 1 turn. Dark Ritual, Murmuring Mystic, blammo. What you gonna do about this 1/5? Scrapwork Mutt, okay. Now the entire squad is bricked here. I actually would have attacked first with my Goblin Tomb Raider, because I would not have blocked for fear of Lightning Bolt or something finishing off my Mystic. That was basically free damage, and even if I do block, the board ends up the same. Get those points in where you can. I am just going to cycle Lorien Revealed. I want to hit my land drop here, and I don't want to get greedy on the Brainstorm, because I have up all this interaction, and the way that this game can fall apart for me is if I put the interaction down and suddenly lose my engine card. I spent 2 cards to get into play. Demand Answers. Sack this, draw 2 cards. It's like as good a time as any to Spell Pierce something. And I'm going to brainstorm in the end step just to get a bird. I know this might not be a high value brainstorm, but we're playing Pauper. You don't get a lot of high value brainstorms. And I am actually brainstorm locked here, just a bunch of 4-drops that I'm going to have to work through. But I am pushing damage. Bird mode. They are unearthing the mutt that discards and draws on arrival. Madness, Alms of the Vein. Target player loses 3 life, you gain 3 life. Okay, I don't have to interact with that. Oh, they can't even cast it because it's black, right? All right, they are a Rakdos deck that's missing the Rakdos. Okay, here, I think they're just attacking because the Mutt's going to die anyway. I will block the Mutt. The damage is all the same, and I am in a position to counter a follow-up burn spell, so I don't mind doing that. But I'm not going to cast down in the end step because then I actually do lose my Mystic to a Lightning Bolt. There we go. That's why I didn't cast down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting in with everything because now cast down is my interaction, and I'm just trying to race. I'm not going to block when I could lose this to a Bolt. They found a Vault of Whispers that unlocks both additional colors, and now they have Metalcraft. Faithless Looting, okay. Discarded 2 Madness things, this is fun. Fiery Temper and Kitchen Imp. Fiery Temper, my face, okay. And Kitchen Imp, Flying Haste 2/2. Alright. I'm going to cast down the Kitchen Imp, and I'm not going to block the Tomb Raider. I'm still pushing damage here. This is my first free draw since the Brainstorm coming. These are the 3 4-drops I had. A land is good, an interactive spell is good. Lightning Bolt my face, I'm at 8. Okay. I did draw land number 4. I have to decide if I want to introduce the Monarchy to this game. I think I do. 1, 2, 3. Attack with 3 of these birds. So I want to make sure I don't lose the Monarchy, because if I lose the Monarchy to this deck, I lose the game, that's for sure. Snuff out, cool. I can go to 4, which is dangerous against the Galvanic Relay deck, or Galvanic Blast deck. And if their hand is 2 Galv Blasts, I actually just lose here. Maybe I should have chump blocked last turn. Target player loses 2 life, you gain 2 life, you make 2 bloods. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little worried. I'm at 3. I can't snuff out anymore. I'd have to hardcast it. Your boy needs a counterspell pretty bad right now. Okay, I've got a foil. That counts as a counterspell in most countries. Thorn of the Black Rose has Death Touch. I'm going to attack with these things that I have. And I am just going to pass the turn with my interaction up. If I draw an island here, I have extra interaction. That can be an island, but not if I also hardcast Snuff Out. They're using their bloods. Alms of the Vein. This is a Lightning Bolt, right? Well, gonna have to counter it. Okay, maybe please run out of Lightning Bolts. Yeah, I think I underestimated this deck's reach and should have just jump blocked the Goblin on that turn that it attacked, and I could be at 5 instead of 3 right now. Sacking another blood. They didn't have a Madness card. Voldaren Epicure. I go to 2 and they get another blood. Okay. Is it too much to ask for another counterspell here? Because that is what I need. The opponent's at 9. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage in play. That's not quite enough. I could Dark Ritual out a Deep Analysis. That actually seems like the best thing I could do. Dark Ritual, cast Deep Analysis. Yeah, I am not going to cycle Ash Barrens or play Ash Barrens here. Chainer's Edict. And Chainer's Edict doesn't matter here. Certainly not compared to the ability to draw a counterspell off the Monarch. Okay, I'm attacking with these creatures. I have lethal next turn. I'm leaving up blue, so the Monarch could draw a counterspell, and I'm leaving Ash Barrens in my hand, so the Monarch could draw foil. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. We're both dead on board here. I just need to fade 2 draws. They didn't have the win last turn. They have a blood token and what they just drew. 2 cards in hand. Deck full of lightning bolts. I have creatures basically covered. I could be at 4 if I played differently. Flashing back, Faithless Looting. Oh, they had a lot more cards than I thought. Yep, Faithless Looting was in the graveyard. So they actually have 5 looks here. That feels like a lot of looks. I don't feel favored right now. They found the Fiery Temper, and I could be at 4 if I had just blocked. Okay. I effed around and found out. I will play more carefully for game 2. Okay, all of these blue blasts coming in, that's for sure. Duress, Chainer's Edict, Arms of Hadar. In arms is good if I don't have something in play, but arms is bad if I do have something in play. Probably just going to do the blue blast. Suffocating fumes can come out. Snuff out is pretty dangerous in this matchup. It's good at taking pressure off, but also we just saw an insane amount of reach. Like I stabilized at 8 and then was threatening lethal like that same turn. It was just like bolt, oops. Now I'm dead to any draw. Yeah, I think Snuff Out is a little risky and I should be lower on it or off it entirely. It's good if it's protecting the Monarch and it's bad if it's doing anything else. If I'm doing this, should I bring in Chainer's Edict or bring in an Arms? I think I'm going to go all the way off Snuff Out and just try to make this work. This is clearly a build that's leaning in on Madness, which is different than Kuldotha Rebirth decks. But there's also the bones here for a Kuldotha Rebirth deck where Suffocating Fumes and Arms of Hadar are my best cards, and I just boarded one out instead of boarding 2 in. I'm going to hope that they just don't have more of those. Dispel might be good enough against all their lightning bolts. A lot of the Madness cards are creatures or sorceries, though, that they end up casting at instant speed, and they're not true instants. They're going to have Red Blast, though. Okay, I actually do need Dispel. I'm going to cut a Deep Analysis. You just can never afford to flash it back. Okay. I am going to keep this. It is more on the fair Dimir side than anything else. But it does have removal counterspell, removal, and I need an engine to start doing stuff. Vault of Whispers. I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed for a Contaminated Aquifer here. Oh, punished immediately. If I had cycled Ashbearers for Swamp, I could have had Thorn in play here. Alright. Played for stability and got slightly slowed down on speed. Looks like I'm not going to get punished for it, though. I am going to cycle Ash Barrens here, get an island, because I'd like to hold up Blue Blast at the end of this chain. Okay, Dark Ritual, Thorn. Monarchy has been established. Getting flooded out on Dark Rituals is pretty devastating too, honestly. They demand answers, and they discarded Alms of the Vein for that. That only hits players. Yeah, okay. I can settle in on that. Deep Analysis. Alright, I can Dark Ritual out Deep Analysis. That's about as good as that's going to get. Missing land drops, and they've shown me haste creatures. They've also shown me a ton of burn. I don't want to have to Blue Blast a Goblin Tomb Raider. I'm just not going to attack. Voldaren Epicure, that's not my fight. Lightning, what's up? Alright, that's a cool card. I think I am going to counter this. And Ash Barrens represents a island for foil, which means I can Dark Ritual out this Murmuring Mystic now and have the shields up. I'm just going to pass. Vampire's Kiss, lose 2 life, gain 2 life, make 2 bloods, okay. Foil, discard, blood, discarding foil. I have foil on my brain so hard. I just said foil instead of blood, and then I said foily temper instead of fiery temper. You can see where my head's at right now. I'm so excited to cast a foil. Even if I lose this game, if I get to represent foil, I'm having a good time. And I think I should brainstorm here. Just get something going, hopefully hit a land drop. Even if they sneak a lightning bolt in here, it's not that big a deal. Yeah, Galv Blast. 2 Lorien Revealed. Chainer's Edict. Okay, I don't need Chainer's Edict. And I don't need 2 Lorien Revealeds either. I don't need another Thorn of the Black Rose, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to put back Edict and Thorn. And then cycle Ash Barrens for Swamp in my upkeep. Lorien Revealed can get an island if it has to. And I can push damage here. I'm not winning this race, but I am pushing damage. Another Thorn. Plenty to discard. And our opponent's strategy lines up extremely well against ours. But also, we are kind of showing proof of concept here, where my hand is full of cards to the point where I don't even mind casting a foil, which is a 3-for-1. They Faithless Looting discarded 2 lands. That is not what their deck's trying to do. End step, I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed. I'll get a basic island, and I'm just going to go to my turn. Now I can hard cast foil. Lightning Bolt. Ugh. Is this a place I want to interact? I think I have to. This is going to be a tough red blast. Okay, successfully foiled. But there's more. Galv Blast. Alright, yeah, they hid the real card. Now I'm dead to any spell in their deck. Bad news, everybody. And they're at 24. Oh my goodness. Okay, yep. Opponent's redundant Nugyu deck, just every card they play is the same, makes it really hard to find a stress point for a removal spell or a counter spell. And I had the Blue Blast in my opening hand, and I drew foil at some point, but we're 25 cards into my deck without another Blue Blast or another counter spell. Running pretty bad at this point. They did flashback Faithless Looting, discard 2 lands though. They picked up a land with Rakdos Carnarium. They can blood away that land, or they can Faithless Looting again. There's no red in the pool. Fingers crossed. I'm not dead to a Kitchen Imp because I can block it. No, I am dead to this. Yeah, there's no other way to see a card here. Okay, yeah. I messed up game 1. Game 2, they had me for sure. But we did get to Dark Ritual out some stuff and see how the deck could work. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 2, and I have the 1 swamp with none of the cyclers. I have to mulligan this. Contaminated Aquifer with a couple of brainstorms. Alright, I'll keep this one. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to 5. Deep Analysis to the bottom. Silver Bluff Bridge from the opponent. Little Grixis Affinity over there. Found an island, that's good news. Cycling Lure revealed. I can't counter that. I would if I could. Okay, we're Jeskai something or other. I'm gonna brainstorm. I found lands at least. No shuffle, but like I said before, this is Pauper. You rarely get to shuffle. And I'm gonna hit my next 2 land traps. That's good news. Cycling another Lorien. An island. I actually am going to Spell Pierce this Wildfire, because if I don't do this, the Spell Pierce might not find another target, because they get to ramp and they get a bunch of card advantage. I'm going to play the Swamp and pass. Just hold on to the Brainstorm. I'll see what my next card is, and then decide if I want to Brainstorm or not. Contaminated Aquifer. Alright, I'm still hitting land drops, which means I'm still not casting Brainstorm. They've cycled their 3rd Lorien revealed. And Spell Pierce saying that Cleansing Wildfire means that they needed to cycle this Lorien instead of cast it this turn. So that was actually pretty good. They're evoking a Muldrifter. Okay. That resolves. If they try to ephemerate this, I'll snuff it out in response. They didn't do that. And I'm going to draw for my turn. I'd love one of my 10 payoffs. Alright, we found one of the 10 payoffs. Good news. Thorn of the Black Rose. Get in there. Disappointing. Okay, maybe I should have waited and had counterspell protection for that. Punished for my impatience. They found a Wildfire. Can't and won't counter this one. Brainstorm. They must have drawn that off the Wildfire draw, or else they would have done it first to get the shuffle. Yeah, talking about Pauper and ways to shuffle a Brainstorm. Cleansing Wildfire, target my own indestructible land. That's got to be the top of the list. Another Thorn. They do have 6 cards up. I'm going to Brainstorm here. Admiral. Bunch of counter spells. Still no land. I think I'm going to put back the 2 Monarch creatures and just hold up interaction for this turn cycle. Maybe they'll get rowdy and I can find a punish. They're outdrawing me like crazy though. This deck, like, I didn't turbo, and now that we're playing fair, their deck's way better than mine. Yuck. Alright, well, I'm going to cast Foil because I can't counterspell twice anyway. They're countering me back. They've got a Muldrifter. I'm actually going to snuff this out right now before they can play a land and represent Ephemerate. They played a tap land, and I'm going to get the Monarch, unless they've got some foils of their own. Unfortunately, shields are down. I'm drawing Thorn of the Black Rose right now. Murmuring Mystic. Well, that's that, kids. It's very hard to protect the Monarchy from an unlimited string of Creature. Yeah, we've actually just lost this game. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm going to have to turbo this deck because I can't beat them playing fair. Dispel comes in. I like Duress as well. Dispel, Duress. They do have some red cards in their deck. We saw Lightning Bolt. We saw Cleansing Wildfire. I don't know if we want Blue Blast, and if we do, how many copies. I think Chainer's Edict probably sucks. Currently 3 and 3 out. What have I done? I've ruined the piles. Okay, 3 and 3 out. And if I want some Blue Blasts, this isn't like last round where I just slam all 4 straight into the pile at any cost. Now I have to think about the pros and cons of this card versus the cards it would replace. And they are a creature deck. Ultimately, that is how they win. Cast Down does kill a Mystic, where Blue Blast doesn't. I think Snuff Out is better. And, alright, I could leave in Suffocating Fumes in case I need to catch up against a Murmuring Mystic. I think I'd rather just not play against a Murmuring Mystic, though. Okay, bet. Uh-oh, 1 lander. There are only 18 lands in this deck, plus the 4 Lorien reveals, and this is an issue. I was aware of it. I was just hoping we weren't punished in the league. And here's a spot where this hand is perfectly keepable. I just don't think this game plan is going to beat my opponent. So now I have to decide, do I want to go to 5 and try to high roll a Dark Ritual? Or do I want to try to engage in some kind of fair game that I don't think I'm favored in? I'm going to try the high roll. Oh, it's getting worse. Well, I can't go to 4. I don't feel good about this anymore. I didn't anyway. Now I feel awful, though. And this goes back to the conversation we were having about Dark Ritual and why it's not normally in control decks. Full house, by the way. Dark Ritual and why it's not in control decks is because it's not a land. Like, literally, if you cut the 4 Dark Rituals from this deck and went up to 22 lands, your range of keepable hands increases dramatically. And I respect trying to do something different. I think it's fun. I'm glad we're doing this. And we saw last round how it's cool when you actually draw a Dark Ritual, but when you're an 18 land deck trying to resolve 4 drops and you don't draw a Dark Ritual, that's a tough sell. We just looked at 21 cards through our mulligans without a Dark Ritual among them. 4 of a kind. Upgraded my full house. Can we switch to poker real quick? Because I'm winning that game. Augur of Bolas. I can't spend a counterspell on this idiot. Opponent put a Pyroblast in their hand. Oh no. Cycling Lorien revealed. Can I get a land? Brainstorm. They probably should Pyroblast this, knowing that I've been struggling so hard. Oh yeah, mess me up. If they play anything good on this turn coming up, I'm going to concede. The game will go on a very long time, regardless, but if they add anything remotely respectable, like a Muldrifter, Kenku Artificer, yeah, this is going to kill me. All right. I am deceased. That was the deck failing in... We saw proof of concept round 1 of ritualing out something big on turn 2 is powerful in this format. And then we saw reverse proof of concept, denial of concept, failure of concept in round 2, where we played against a grindy deck and all we want is a keepable 7. And we did not get one. On to the next round. Introducing Club GG, the mobile platform that lets you create your own poker clubs and play with your friends anywhere. Creating a club is easy. Just download the app, set up your club, and invite your friends. If you're looking for more competition, Club GG offers an optional subscription model, giving you the freedom to choose. Becoming a Club GG member unlocks access to compete for real prizes at a fixed monthly fee and no additional cost to play. Download Club GG now and join thousands of fellow poker enthusiasts. Use code BOSH for a free 7-day trial standard membership. Club GG, where the fun of poker meets the thrill of competition. Suitable for adults 18 and over. Visit us at clubgg.net. I'm on the draw in round 3. I actually am going to keep this 1-lander. It sucks that it's Ash Barrens, but I have 17 looks right now, or 16 looks to draw a land that's not Ash Barrens. And even if I fail, I could cycle Lorien Revealed and start playing the game. Azure Fleet Admiral, and I'm just going to pass. And I'm going to cycle for basic island so I can brainstorm and then cycle again next turn. Got a Preordain. It looks like we're playing against the real blue-black deck. Top bottom the first Preordain, top bottom the second Preordain. Cycle Lorien, get Island, Brainstorm. Dark Ritual can cast Thorn next turn, but we're starting to cast stuff into open mana. Like, this is the turn we wanted to do this, not next turn. I can put back one of the Snuff Outs for sure. And, oh, I actually can't even Dark Ritual next turn because Lorien Revealed doesn't get Basic Swamp. Yeah, I'm going to put back Snuff Out, and if I wait 2 turns, I can Dark Ritual and cast one of my 4s with Counterspell backup. All right, that's the next leap. I'm going to put back Azure Fleet Admiral, and then cycle Lorien Revealed for a Contaminated Aquifer. Augur of Bolus. They found a Snuff Out. Oh, if I could find my Basic Swamp right now and resolve a Thorn of the Black Rose, that would be pretty good. Deep Analysis. No luck. Contaminated Aquifer in, and just passing the turn. Your own Thorn of the Black Rose. All right, well, I could take the Monarch back the hard way by casting my own Idiot next turn. And I am going to stuff out this Augur, because if I'm to protect the Monarchy, I'm going to need blockers back and Counterspell up. Dark Ritual. My own Thorn. Haha! I'm the Monarch. And notice what's happening here is the deck that just has a good land count is outmuscling the deck with Dark Ritual, because the Dark Ritual deck had to do weird stuff to find its 4th mana, and they just preordained twice and had a perfect curve. And they didn't have to 2-for-1 themselves to do it. And now I'm in a lot of trouble because Murmuring Mystic. Maybe I was supposed to Murmuring Mystic last turn, counterspell a removal spell, get an extra bird, and fight over the Monarchy that way. I did play in a way that basically gives them any removal spell, clears the board. Luckily, I did draw another Thorn. I could just take it back. Hopefully, Snuff Out's the only card in their hand. Or the only meaningful card in their hand. I can see that they have 5 other cards. Ugh. Run out of juice here. Dark Ritual's actually a good draw here. Lorien Revealed's not a good draw here. Recycling Lorien. I'm going to get an Island. And I think I have to start sending Mystics in. I know they have Snuff Out. I could see it. But I have another Mystic. At some point, I have to take the Monarchy back and hold it. Yeah, there's the Snuff Out. Hard cast. Don't even get the life. And they're now doing to me what my deck is supposed to do to everyone, because it took me a weird amount of time to get set up. They're over there casted Lorien Revealed. And I want to make clear that pointing out everything that's wrong with how this deck is constructed, or at least the weaknesses of this construction, is not me being miserable and hating the deck. This is all of us learning why there are rules to deck construction. I really wish that was a land. I'm going to Deep Analysis targeting myself. If that one was a land, play this, cast down the Thorn. They're still way up on cards versus me here, and now they have 7 mana up and 8 cards in their hand, and they're still the Monarch. I don't see a reasonable path out of this game. Very Seer. Yeah, they even have random flying 1/1s to contest the Monarchy. Bajuka Bog takes out my Deep Analysis that's in there. There's a Dark Ritual. Okay. Dark Ritual. I'm going to play Murmuring Mystic with a black floating. Oh, with 2 black floating. Is that how this works? Yes. Okay. All right, so I'm going to counterspell their counterspell. Get counterspelled again, probably, because they have 6 cards in their hand. Show me that Spellstutter Sprite. End my life. All right, just counterspell. And now I have to cast down this Fairy Seer before it turns into a ninja. And my opponent is about to pass the turn with 7 cards in their hand versus my 1. We've seen enough. Let's go to the next game and try to have a stronger start. I like Duress. I like Dispel. Suffocating Fumes actually seems fine if they've got fairies in the deck. Snuff Out's annoying because it is free interaction, but it only kills some of their things. I think I need it. Chainer's Edict might be bad. And maybe an Analysis. I don't want to cut a creature or a counterspell, and at some point I need removal. And cast down on a fairy idiot seems so bad. I'm bringing Deep Analysis back in. Okay. Trying it like this. Come on, Dark Ritual hand. Okay, we do have a Dark Ritual hand. I'm going to keep this. There's 4 Dark Rituals and 10 hits for Dark Ritual. I would rather have the Writ in my opener and try to hit something good than the other way around. Thorn. Not a Thorn. Okay. I'm going to duress them first. Brainstorm, Counterspell, Lorien Revealed. Take the Counterspell. And I'm going to Brainstorm now. There is an Admiral. Okay, cool. And I'm passing the turn. There's Augur. Hit a Snuff Out, but that doesn't matter at this point. As long as I get the Monarch, we're fine. I am going to... My top card is Snuff Out. I'm going to draw the Snuff Out. I actually think that's good. Hope I stacked this correctly. Yeah, we did it. All right. Now I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed. Get an island, get rid of Cast Down, Dark Ritual, Admiral, and snuff their Augur. I'm just snuffing now before they can find a counterspell and make me snuff it twice. If I can just hang out and hold the Monarchy, I don't care if they kill my Admiral. And I have the next snuff out ready for this Murmuring Mystic, which, if they play tight like I should have last game, and they can just endure me being the Monarch for a turn, then the turn after this one, they can go Mystic plus Snuff Out, get a bird, and now I have to answer 2 problems. And they have the 4 lands lined up here. I really hope they Snuff Out now. What I'd hate to see here is a 1/1 fairy. If they can add to the board, add an evasive creature to the board off their low resources right now, that would be really tough. Uh-oh. It seems they know how to sequence a Murmuring Mystic better than I did. Island and attack. Draw for the Monarch. I'd love a counterspell. Contaminated Aquifer. I can still Brainstorm and try to hit counterspell. Okay, I'm going to Brainstorm here. Counterspell saves me. Spell Pierce. Oh, I can foil this. Heck yeah, the deck's all coming together. Okay, what are all my discards if I'm going to foil this? If I put back Thorn and Spell Pierce, I could just discard all the lands. I think I want Spell Pierce, because they're going to Lorien Reveal next turn. And foil is so rough. And the problem is that I like having Spell Pierce here. The problem isn't countering their Snuff Out that follows up the Murmuring Mystic. It's that it leaves a 1/1 behind that I don't currently have any kind of answer to, and I just want to hold the Monarchy. Okay, if I put back Thorn and... I think I just have to discard the 2 lands. Put back Thorn and Snuff Out, and then foil this. Discard Island and Aquifer. And now I actually would Spell Pierce a Snuff Out because I'm pushing damage in a way that's interesting. Cool. Alright. And if they have to spend their next turn Lorien Revealing, I put them to 10 on this attack, then they're at 7, I'm up a bunch of cards. Oh, they have another one. Okay, sure. They're at 9. I'm drawing Thorn of the Black Rose. If they can slam Lorien Revealed here, they might catch up. Or their own Thorn would be annoying. Ugh! They have it all. I can take this back, but now we're in the same spot as last game where I am just treading water backwards against any removal spell. And I'm drawing all the snuffs. That resolves. Monarchy's reestablished. Lorien Revealed. Brainstorm. Just need them to miss on an interaction spell that affects Thorn of the Black Rose. I'm happy to trade these off in combat if they attack. Here it comes. Block. They're playing like they have another Thorn, but I mean, you have to attack there even if you don't. Gurmag Angler. Okay. That's also a black creature. Yuck. Okay, I could cast Lorien Revealed here. Or I could just hope that the card I draw is useful. I don't think that's going to get me there. Yeah, seeing the Gurmag Anglers now... Oh no. Also counterspell? Chill! Alright, we've lost this game. But, yeah, seeing the Gurmag Anglers now, I do really wish I had my Edicts back in, my Cast Down. I have 2 Cast Downs in the deck. I could have 5 answers to this, or 6. I currently have 2. At black creatures, just the dodging Snuff Out is so good. Send another Lorien Revealed, which they could have done on their turn and didn't. I'm going to have to take the Monarchy back the hard way. Spellstutter Sprite. Okay. Crazy art on this thing. Is that a secret lair? It looks wild. Lorien Revealed. Can't dispel that. It's a sorcery. And they are still the Monarch, and they're way ahead on board in every way. And I have no way out of this. I could cycle Suffocating Fumes, I guess. Sucks to suck me. I guess I can snuff out the fairy and play the Admiral and try to block. Dead to literally anything. Oh, especially that. Yep. Can't get through that. GG's. Yeah, we saw basically a deck doing the same thing as me, except instead of trying to go fast and hard in the paint with good opening sevens, they just normalized out the appeal of cards in their deck so they can keep more sevens, which is generally how you want to construct your control deck. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. On the draw in round 4 with another hand with no mana sources. Gonna mulligan. And I will keep this out of duty and necessity. I would love to draw a Dark Ritual on one of my first 2 draw steps. Voldaren Epicure. We're doing this again. Okay. Aquifer, go. Implement of Combustion. And they did combust me. Well, I called it out and it's here. The problem now is that if they lightning bolt my Thorn of the Black Rose, I will lose the game on the spot. And I need something resembling a stable board or the ability to fight back. Yeah, see, this is just not really tenable. You can't... Yeah, this is another problem with the deck that we haven't even talked about yet, is introducing the Monarch or Initiative in a Pauper format, or any format, is risky if your opponent can take it from you, which this format is pretty good at doing, it turns out. Okay, I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed for another basic island, and I'm going to set up a turn next turn where I can Thorn with Counterspell backup. And normally having... Oh god. I'm not going to beat 3 1/1s. I'm worried about the 1/1 they have currently. And Whacker. Normally, when you play a deck that has the Monarch in it, it's 1 or 2 cards, so you don't draw them often, but you can dig for them late in the game when you're stable. Trying to fire the Monarch out into the game as fast as possible is pretty wild. And we are seeing how society fails when you try to do that. Okay, I'm just going to cast my 3/3, introduce the Monarch. Hopefully they don't just bolt it. And I have a follow-up Thorn next turn that can take the Monarch back outside of combat. Easiest Chain Lightning of their life. And they're in for 2. They're the Monarch. And this is also just kind of a coin flip situation where if this was Murmuring Mystic instead of Azure Fleet Admiral, I think I'm actually in a great spot. But it's not that, which means I'm in a bad spot. Got to cast down here just for a chance at ever doing anything. They got 4 cards in their hand plus a loot. And now I'm drawing Dark Ritual in a spot where I need action. Hold off the Rebirth. If they have another Whacker, I'm obliterated. Yep, okay. Been whacked. Okay, the Arms of Hadar are coming in. The Blue Blasts are coming in. Chainer's Edict is very, very bad. I'm actually going to cut the Admirals because I'd rather have Murmuring Mystic, and Thorn is easier to cast off of Dark Ritual. And I don't, as we saw that game, I don't really want to be introducing the Monarchy willy-nilly because it's a liability if you're not completely stable, which I very rarely will be against this deck, at least early in the game. Probably a deep analysis because we can't afford to flash it back. I'm not happy about Snuff Out, but I'm going to leave some of them in. Okay, here we go. I will keep this. Once again, I wish this Thorn was Murmuring Mystic, but there's still time. Holding out hope. Goblin Tomb Raider. And me without a swamp. Yeah, if Lorien Revealed could get basic swamp, I would actually shove here, but it cannot. I think I have to snuff here. I've taken more damage than I want to from this thing already. It represents a challenge to my Monarchy. And now I'm trying to draw Blue Blast. Blue Blast, best draw. Murmuring Mystic. There it is. Okay. Now I have to think about them having a bunch of haste creatures is bad for me playing Thorn. Them having Red Elemental Blast is bad for me playing Murmuring Mystic. I'm going to go Thorn. Can't stop me. I'm out of my mind. Just no play on turn 2 is deeply suspicious. It makes me think they have reactive spells. And one of the best reactive spells they could have is Red Elemental Blast. Chain Lightning, that's dead. Please don't have a haste creature. Goblin Blast Runner. As Menace if you've sacrificed a permanent. Okay, we dodged. And now I get to put Murmuring Mystic into play with Counterspell backup. Ritual this thing out. Make sure I have the Counterspell. Mystic. Here comes the Pyroblast, as promised. Still going to have my fight where I can. I have a 1/5 in play now. Deep Analysis. If I get another turn... Oh no, I'm not going to get another turn. They're just sending multiple burn spells at this. Ouch! And now this Blast Runner is going to do all it needs to do, which is take the Monarch. And now it doesn't matter that they 2-for-1 themselves to kill my creature, because the mechanic I introduced to the game is going to draw them tons of cards. And undo all that loss. Deep Analysis, target me. Okay. I have another Thorn. I can take the Monarchy back. They will have drawn 2 cards. Got back everything they lost to kill the Mystic to do this. And here comes 4 damage. Oh wait, is it going to be more? It is. Here comes 8 damage. Yuck. Okay. I think I have to Suffocating Fumes just to clean up here a little bit, which gives them another turn of Monarchy. It fumes. Take 0 from this attack. Implement of Combustion. Okay. I don't like that card. It represents a lot of damage, but I also can't afford to counter it. Okay, Murmuring Mystic, Thorn of the Black Rose, Blue Blast. I think I have to go Mystic plus Blue Blast here, giving them 4 turns with the Monarchy. But I think this is my best chance to actually win the game and not just lose the next Lightning Bolt. Speaking of the next Lightning Bolt, have to counter this because it's lethal. They have a implement in play that can deal the last 1. Survive that. They're implementing. The Blast Runner gets Menace. Another Blast Runner. Doesn't have haste. Does have menace, though. Cool. They didn't attack. That means they don't have a trick. At least not yet. But they're about to draw a card. And... Okay. I'm going to attack with my Bird Illusion. Monarchy's been restored to its rightful place. And... I can't flashback Deep Analysis. I'm going to Brainstorm. That makes a creature. Nice. I like the Aquifer. I don't need Thorn. Can't cast this Snuff out. Not yet. Play the Aquifer, and somehow we are approaching stability. Handful of good interaction. I have the good of my 2 creatures and the Monarchy's back. Golgotha Rebirth. This is a bunch of dinguses. I'm going to counterspell that because I don't think I can beat it. A 3rd Blast Runner. And I'm going to have to... Oh, I was so sure they had a Bushwhacker based on how they played this. But, alright, I'm going to zap. Oh, that was a good Pyroblast to have. And now I'm at 1. Yuck. Or no, the creature's still dying and I could double block. But I have lost my engine. Block. Doesn't get trample, right? Nope, just menace. Okay. Okay, I'm at 4. They cleared my big O. What is this? Please don't lightning bolt me. Yeah, they tap mana, then change their mind. I think that holding up Snuff out on the hard cast is more important than playing Thorn of Black Rose. And I'm just going to take my draw and pass. Synthesizer, disgusting. That's going to be hard to beat. Flipped another Synthesizer. And off they go. That one flipped a Goblin Bushwhacker. Chill! Golgotha Rebirth, god damn it. Alright, well. Flipped a Lightning Bolt. Is there a land in this hand? There's not. Okay. If I snuff this out, they can bolt me to 1. I don't think double blocking it's better versus this army of X1 creatures. And I'm at 1 life. Counterspell. Happy to see that. Thorn of the Black Rose creates the necessary 3rd blocker. And we're back to stability. This is such a disaster. And they have a Synthesizer that they can sack into a 2/2, which is happening. and it flipped a Pyroblast, which can present lethal by killing one of the birds here, which means I have to counter it. Gross, being at 1 is so much worse than being at 2 at all times. Okay, I need a removal spell or a blocker right now. Oh, I am so into this attack if they make it. Okay, I think they're realizing that's not a good attack, because if they attack with everything next turn, I just lose if I don't rip out. But if they make that attack, then I'm stable versus what we can see. Okay. I think I do not play the Swamp in case I draw Brainstorm and then just give myself an extra bad card to put back. But Monarchy saved me. And Brick. Couldn't cast Deep Analysis, didn't have 3 life to do it with. I mean, once again, mostly did what the deck was supposed to do. It was just worse than what my opponent was doing. Someday we'll win a game. We got 1 match left to try. On to the final round. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. 2nd through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bizarre Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 Foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. I'm on the draw in the final round. No access to black, no cycler. I could try to high roll this. Let's actually do the math. There are 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 black sources in the deck. I get 2 looks at 53 cards. Slightly better than 1 in 5 times 2. No thanks, I'm going to mulligan. Okay, I will keep this and put one of these many Thorns on the bottom. Opponent's also on 6. They've got a Mountain and a Voldaren Epicure. I've made it clear I can't beat this card. Why don't people relax? Island go. This league has been funny because the last couple times I've played Pauper, probably 3 or 4 leagues, so 15 or 20 matches, I spent the whole time just waiting for the mono red deck because I've been playing these stacked sideboards that are built to beat up on exactly that. And now that I queue into mono red 3 times in a league, it's with the deck that is deeply and irrevocably soft against this strategy. Even bringing in 4 blue blasts, we still are just not doing great versus 4 1/1s. Like, I can't play Thorn of the Black Rose here. I have to mop up all these 1/1s, and there's 1 sweeper in my deck to do that with. Even without the Bushwhacker, this is just an insane, unbeatable start. I'm going to Brainstorm. Put back 1 of the Thorns, 1 of the Ash Barons, and then cycle Ash Barons for a Swamp. This is the most embarrassing shit you can ever do, but I'm going to cast Chainer's Edict into a board of 4 interchangeable 1/1s. 3 of them came off of 1 card. Reckless Impulse, hitting Synthesizer and Galv Blast. Flipped Great Furnace off of Synthesizer, even hit the land drop. It's like they mulled to 6, but they've drawn 10. And I mulled to 6, and I've discarded 2, because I have Thorn of the Black Rose that I can't even afford to play. Okay, what happens here? I can play Thorn and die. Like, she can block. And then I lose the Monarchy. But she is still technically in play. Alright, gotta play to my outs here. Another Dark Writ. Just what we needed. I'm gonna block 1, and I'm gonna cast down the other. But it's probably more important to cast down a blocker. I lose the Monarchy anyway, and being at 5 versus 6 is still Double Bolt, is still Galv Blast plus something else. But if they do something like make a Vigilant 2/2 right now, I can at least poke that and attack, get my Monarchy. Cast down the 2/2. They've got 5 cards in hand to either deal 2 to Thorn and just be stable, or deal 5 to me and win the game. Holy smokes. Okay, attack. Yeah, there's a few too many highly dependent cards here. Like, these Dark Rituals depend on having something to do with them. Deep Analysis kind of depends on discarding it to foil, because it's not a good card on its own. Well, I can Dark Ritual and then cast down both of these goblins, and hope that the 6 cards in their hand somehow can't put a creature into play or deal any direct damage. Direct damage unlocked. Here we go. Time for the smoke. Cast down. When all this is done, the 3 removal spells plus the Dark Ritual, I will have spent 4 cards to deal with one of theirs after they drew 1,000,000 cards on me. Love the second main haste creature. I'm at 4. Gal Blast, just get it done. Nope. All right. Second main haste creature, looking good. I am untapping with a counter spell. Oh, the Mystic. You're so close to being good. I think I have to shove Mystic here. Holding up Counterspell does not look like it would actually win this game, but starting to poop out birds and getting a big body in might. And I am at 3, dead to any Lightning Bolt. There's the foil, but no island. We're so close to the combo. Implement, I'm at 2. Sacking the Implement for a redraw. Golgotha Rebirth. Okay. And they appear to be passing the turn somehow. Okay. And I'm still dead to this board if I don't draw a spell, like any proactive spell. Do I have to just cast Deep Analysis to make a blocker? I think I do. And I just have to hope this hits like a Brainstorm. Okay, now I have to hope they cast something that I can Spell Pierce. It's not a great scene. Drawing an island would be good. Hey, we drew an island. Okay. I can foil something and produce an extra blocker. They can also send the squad, put me to 1. Block. I'm at 1. You're the Monarch. Here's the draw. If I untap here, I'm kind of weirdly comfortable. Having 3 counters in the grip is a lot. I'm going to attack with Murmuring Mystic only. Leave back the Death Touch creature. I'm attacking with the one that doesn't die to Lightning Bolt, but I guess I die to Lightning Bolt, so it doesn't really matter what I attack with here. And I am going to hold on to the island for the foil. It's time to bring this one back. One for the home team. Come on. 1 life. Rally. Voldaren Epicure. Well, that kills me. Literally dead to that card. Oh yeah, just start walking it back. Get another turn here. I get to make a land drop because I have an extra island. There was a weird pause in their end step, like they were thinking about something. A Brainstorm's a big one. Let's move some cards around. Okay, put back island and island, then cycle Ash Barrens for island right away, but not play it because I need it for foil. Or no, I have Lorien Revealed if I need an island for foil. Okay. And now I can push a little more damage. I'm holding back my 1/3 Death Touch because I know their deck has 2/2 haste creatures in it, and I don't want to have to use one of my precious counterspells on that because their deck has Epicures and Implements and Lightning Bolts and things that straight up make me lose. Another Lorien Revealed. Okay. They played land number 8. That's what I want to see. I want them to have 15 lands in play at the end of this game. It's my only out. And they're passing. I'm not cycling. I'm not doing anything here. Not tapping out of my double counterspell. You can't make me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't really afford to add Admiral to the board. I can't afford to cast Lorien Revealed either, which means I'm okay island cycling it. And this lets me hit my land drop. And I'm just going to get a basic here. The other Lorien is still representing the foil if I need it. Spell Pierce looking pretty bad at this point. Thorn of the Black Rose was my Monarch draw. I'm going to have to go to cleanup, and I think I should discard this Snuff Out. I'm just not going to cast that effectively ever. 9 lands in play. Yeah, I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed in this end step. If they have 3 ways to deal damage to me right now, I just tapped out of a 3rd counterspell, but I don't think they have that. Continue grabbing basic islands. Okay, I drew another island, which means I can keep foil up. Attack with my birds. And I have 8 mana now, which means I can play Azure Fleet Admiral and still leave up 3 counterspells. This is worth it on adding to my clock. I go from attacking for 2 to attacking for 5. Big deal. What my opponent wants to be doing from the red side here is stacking up enough ways to deal that last 1 damage. I can't afford to fight over this. They want to stack up enough ways to deal that last 1 damage. Oh, well, that card will kill me. Oh, it has haste too. Well, okay. They can see 2 counterspells, like the ability for me to cast 2 counterspells here. They make a 2/2. They flipped a mountain. That's good. Like, if they can see I have mana up for 2 counterspells, and they want to try to get 3 ways to deal damage to me into their hand at the same time. Yeah, that's Sawblade Sentry or Sawblade Scamp. What is this card? Sawblade Scamp? That was a scary one. Another Admiral, which means I can do the same thing I did last turn, or I can now cast a Snuff Out, which is the same mana as the Admiral. Yeah, I think Snuff Out is actually good because it reduces their board while adding to mine. Oh, interesting. A chump. I was not expecting a chump block. Weird. Okay. I will draw for the Monarch. Lorien Revealed. I could cast the Snuff Out now. If I do that, I don't give up on anything. As Counterspell, Foil, Spell Pierce are all still up here. And I add to my board and I don't have to discard a card. Okay. They have not been playing like they have multiple waves. I think last turn would have been the turn to send it when they started on that Scamp that came off the top. Bushwhacker, just as a creature, is fine. Reckless Impulse. I think I have to roll the dice on that. They did hit a Lightning Bolt. They can cast that whenever they want. No rush. They decided that now is the time. Counterspell that. Okay, do you have 2 more things in your hand? Have you been banking? Or just bricking? Holy moly! We're on the board. Won a game. Stabilized at 1 against Mono Red. Okay. We're back in this team. That was the game where I used Chainer's Edict, cast down, Dark Ritual to deal with a single Kuldotha Rebirth. Still won it. Scoreboard. I'm not sure if I want Duress versus this deck. I definitely don't want Azurefleet Admiral. This is a Murmuring Mystic matchup all day. We've determined that Snuff Out is kind of risky and difficult to cast. Chainer's Edict is the Stains. Spell Pierce is good early and bad late, which is kind of the same as Duress. Deep Analysis, bad almost all the time. Okay, I'm going to shave 2 Snuff Outs, the Edicts, Deep Analysis, and the 2 Admirals bring in 4 Blue Blast, 2 Arms of Hadar, and a Dispel. I'm not going to mess with Duress here. Steel Sabotage, they do have artifacts, but they also have stuff that's not artifacts. Some of their artifacts aren't spells. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. All right, now's the time. Bring it back from the brink. Fend off the reverse trophy. All it takes is your mono red opponent drawing 9 lands in a row when you're at 1. I will keep this hand. Epicure is in play. Arms of Hadar. We've got a long-term plan here. Just got to be alive that long. I'd love to Spell Pierce Kuldotha Rebirth. In for 1. Another Epicure. I'm going to Brainstorm in the end step. No access to black here anywhere. And no shuffle. That's tough. Opponent missed a land drop, though. We'll see how much that matters as they continue to punch me down to 15 on turn 3 with their 1 land and 2 1-drops. I think I actually just have to kill one of these, cut the clock in half as I work through my Brainstorm lock. Okay, I'm drawing new cards starting next turn. If I can find a Swamp, we'll be doing okay. Another Epicure. I am actually going to counter this. They didn't have that last turn, which makes me think it was their draw for this turn. Found a Swamp. This is not a drill. Okay. Now what's going on? I don't think I'm going to Blue Blast this Epicure now that I have Arms of Hadar available. I don't really want to Arms and go 1 for 1 with an Epicure. Alright, they're finally busting Bloods. Still missing land drops. Target myself with Deep Analysis. I don't like how much damage I'm taking from this Epicure, but also I don't like any of my ways I have to answer it. And now I have 5 mana. If I just find a creature, we're doing it. Goblin Tomb Raider. Interesting that that's second main. Again, that's a haste creature. What are we doing? But I am happy to take a 2 for 1 now. I was patient long enough. Now we'll just sweep it up. They do have 7 cards in hand, and I'm at 12. Screw beats Flood if the game goes long. And they're cracking a Blood, discarding Galv Blast, and still missing a land drop. Let's go! Let's go! Okay, I can Deep Analysis or Lorien Revealed here. I could just Brainstorm, see what comes loose. I'm going to start with Brainstorm. Arms of Hadar, still no threats. Come on, deck. I'm going to put back, honestly, both of the Dark Rituals at this point. That's not what this game's about. Cycle Lorien Revealed for an Aquifer, make that my land drop for the turn. And now I'm just playing blue-black control and hoping that I don't draw Dark Ritual ever. Maybe they'll rage quit. Yeah, they rage quit! We did it! We won a match! Okay, let's review this deck. Obviously, it has some problems, which I did identify most of them in the deck tech. Like, I knew that this would be a thing, but now we actually saw it bore out over the last hour and a half or so. The real deck building lesson here is this is not just we're blue-black control, but we can sometimes spike a Dark Ritual and it's all upside, which is how a lot of people think about deck building. They think about the ceiling, not the floor. They're thinking about their nut draw, not their worst opening 7 they'd keep. And if we imagine a turn 2 Dark Ritual out, Murmuring Mystic, and then we just hold up counterspells the rest of the game, every game, then yeah, this looks great. But the reality is, these Dark Rituals come at the expense of land slots. 18 lands in this deck that's trying to cast 4-drops. If you don't have Dark Ritual, you're never casting your 4s. And if you are, you're going to be so far behind that it doesn't matter. And what's actually even worse than that, and that's already pretty bad, is that in the context of the Pauper format, which is full of mono red decks and affinity decks and powerful proactive creatures that get on the board, even if you do nut draw a Dark Ritual into Thorn of the Black Rose on turn 2 and you have the Monarchy, you might just lose the Monarchy that turn and never get it back. Foil is not good enough to make up for that gap. Maybe if we still had Daze, maybe if Force of Will was a common, but then we're playing Legacy, which is a different format. And even in Legacy, which does have all those cards, Dark Ritual is frequently not found in decks alongside Force of Will and Daze because they're asking different things of the deck. It's basically Doomsday and then some fringe stuff like Peer into the Abyss Storm, but actual dedicated Storm decks don't play Force and Daze. Force and Daze decks don't play Dark Ritual. It takes a very special sauce to want Dark Ritual in your blue deck, and I don't think we have passed the test here. Well, it's not that I don't think. I'm quite sure we didn't pass the test here. But I like having leagues like this on the channel. First of all, I didn't 05. That didn't get added to the Lifetime 05. We did win a match. Second of all, when people are out there talking about, like, what if we just put Dark Ritual into our blue-black control deck? Or all the time in my comments, it's like people suggest like a card, just like some random card from Magic's history. Like, this could be good. Like, okay, what are you cutting for it? What does that do to the structural integrity of the deck? We're not just playing 61 with this card you suggested. What does this actually do in the context of everything we need to think about when building a deck? And just adding a card for its upside is never true. The upside of Dark Ritual is one thing. The downside is you cut 4 lands from your deck and sometimes you don't have Dark Ritual. And then you're not casting your spells. This is a great lesson in the context of deck building and the context of deck building for a format. And thank you for this idea. I did have fun, even though it was largely unsuccessful. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.